Virgo.
Hello Virgo, this is your December forecast for 2013, and we're starting off top of the month here with the moon and the new moon and the sun passing through your fourth house. Now the fourth house is who you are essentially on the inside, the deeper roots. It's not like the first house, who you are and how you present yourself to the world, but this is how you think about yourself when you have time alone. And the new moon in this area also will represent that it's time to plant some seeds in the area of family. If you haven't had too much time to spend with them over the last few months, we know how life can get busy and wrap it up around us. Well, then this is time to plant those seeds for 2014, all the way to December next year, and say, you know, I'm going to take off some quality time to spend with family, get to know and learn more about their past, their thoughts, because the fourth house is always about the past. And we're not just talking over the last few weeks or months, we're talking about, you know, way back to childhood, even way back past lives, okay? So there's some very intricate connections here that you can put together and find within yourself. It's like that inner mirror there. And you get to feel a little bit, just a little taste of how it is to feel like the way the Sagittarians feel. And this is because the sun is moving through the sign of Sagittarius, and every time the sun moves through a new sign, doesn't matter what sign we're born in, but we get to feel, blend and merge a little bit with these sun signs. So above and beyond our own sun sign, well, we are a blend of all 12. This month you're going to feel more Sagittarian yourself, Virgo. Then we have Venus in the sign of Capricorn. It is in your fifth house for joy, leisure, doing those things you love to do with pleasure. Fifth house is also about love relationships, new love, and so forth. And being in the sign of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, really means that you're going to take love and romance a little bit more serious this month. I see it's more like you're trying to figure out how to ground it and root it, give it a little bit more substance. Saturn does that for us. You know, sometimes, yeah, it might feel a little sober, a little serious. But then again, see, it's in the fifth house, which is ruled by Leo, which is the happy inner sun child. So I see a blend between what is joyful and what is spontaneous, and at the same time, being really, really realistic about it, because that is one thing we can grant the Capricornians, right? So Venus is taking on this flavor this month. You will feel that Capricornian need to kind of ground your love and relationships, but at the same time you want to have fun. Now, Mars is still in your sign, and it has been transiting there for a while. I think a lot of you Virgos have pretty much enjoyed to have it there. Because it just gives you even more boost to go ahead and get your lives organized and strategized, and you love that. You're so analytical at times that Mars right now has probably been very busy knocking on that door up here and trying to figure out what it is you really want. And what is it you want, Virgo? Well, this Mars is trending up with Venus here this month. So I think a lot of you are thinking very romantic feelings here in December. We'll get back to that when we get down to the dates. That you can just bring out your notepad so you can write it down. But let's look at Jupiter, still up there in your 11th house for social networks and you just being out and about and socializing. So I can see how many of you have been expanding this whole area, getting to know new people, exciting people. Some of you have traveled a whole lot more here this year, and maybe traveling with friends, because the 11th house is friends, not necessarily family members. So, and this is where probably you could have also met new people along the path. And in this sense, well, I see how Saturn is grounding the network that you've put together this summer, because Saturn being in your third house for communication, it allows you to stay in touch. It gives you that ballast to cultivate and stay put. So it's not just people easy come, easy go. We meet a lot of people easy come, easy go. But Saturn's trying to really bring this down, bring it in. And Jupiter here has been expanding this area. But right now, Jupiter is retrograde, okay? It went retrograde here, oh, when did it go retrograde? Here on the 7th of November, okay? So it's going to be there for another 4 or 5 months, so it's not going to, speed up anytime soon. But Jupiter is so perfect, so jovial, so optimistic, and so huge in itself that we're not really going to miss out on too much. We just don't really like starting too many new things where we need Jupiter's action to help push us forward. But see, even in its retrograde phase, you may be able to retrieve and get some opportunities coming from seeds you planted earlier on when Jupiter was direct. See what I'm saying? So pay attention to any nice, good opportunities. That might be the delayed gift from Jupiter coming your way. And this is for December and then onwards over these next few months. Now you also have the full moon this month here in the career house, and this will be on December 17th. So you might see that you can harvest something there, and holding in mind that Jupiter might just drop something for you, well, that might be a time that you would like to pay attention to. The full moons I always see as harvesting things that seeds, intentions that we planted earlier on. So yeah, full moon is just as exciting as the new moon. Now let's start off at the top of the month, just so we can go through your aspects here, Virgo. And like I said, we're starting off here with the new moon, December 2nd. Time to write your abundance check to yourself. And we also have Mercury sextile Mars. So activity, there's a lot of communication going on, and I'd like to say there is an energy surge coming in what it is you're communicating. And it's a little double whammy there. Why? Well, because Mercury is already in the 3rd house, your 3rd house. And Mercury rules this area. So he's extra strong here, and then getting this boost from Mars, well, that will just put more aim, goal, and ambition and desire into whatever it is you're communicating here on the 3rd. Especially for you ladies, if you're having any talks, deeper talks with your significant other or new love interests, well, it would be a good communication on this day. And Mercury then will be moving out of this area. It's been in Scorpio for a while because it's been retrograding. So you've had plenty of time to really go deep into your emotions, to think them and analyze them. Mars has been helping you with that analytical part. But really figuring out, okay, so where am I? And where do I really want to go? And so in this, I see how you've been tying up perhaps many loose end as well. And now as Mercury is going direct again, it's picking up speed, and now it's entering into Sagittarius. So you will notice how the shift will go from thinking these deeper processed thoughts in Scorpio. It's going to start becoming a little bit more lively. That is what Sagittarian is. And with a great sense of humor and wit, it is also going to be now transiting through your 4th house of family. So you'll see that shift going now, just like I said about the new moon and the sun is there. It's going to be joining up with it. So I see you communicating more, whether it is with your parents, they might be needing you a little bit more, or just other family members also. On the 6th, Mercury is going to be square at Neptune. A little careful with any kind of papers you sign, any documents. We always need Neptune to at least be in a good aspect, so it doesn't come with these airy-fairy deals that can turn out to be scams for all we know. Neptune can very easily deceive if it's on the lower frequency. Always want Neptune up to the higher frequency. And then we have Mercury here trining Uranus, and this is going to be in the area of the home and the 8th house. So this can have something to do with money that you have either with other family members, it could be joint ventures as well, or anything with papers, documents pertaining to insurance, that kind of thing, bank papers or so forth, might be something there. Unexpected coming, maybe it's even a payout. You know, maybe you got some investments that are coming into you or into the family. Now on the 12th, we got Jupiter and Saturn. They are trine. Jupiter always expands, and then Saturn likes to restrict. It's got those rings. So it's kind of like a push-pull, but it's a trine. So actually what it's doing is Jupiter's wanting to expand, and then Saturn wants to come in and anchor and secure it. Great thing. For you, this is going to be between the areas somewhere along the lines between friends, groups, organizations, and third house for you, communication or short distance travel. Maybe some of you may also perhaps set up some plans, some more travel plans to see your friends, maybe some of those that you met here this summer. So that might be a joyful thing. Then we have Uranus, your 8th house placement here is going to finally turn direct. It's been retrograde for many, many months, and the 8th house for you is those royalties and commissions. And if you've been waiting for some project payout or waiting for any kind of monies owed to you by others, well, that is going to start picking up speed. Don't expect it right overnight, because now it's turned. When a planet has been moving backwards for so long and it turns, it takes a little time just to turn, and then it's slowly going to pick up speed before it picks up that traction. But at least it's direct here on the 17th. And then we have your sun moving into this joyful area of the 5th house. This is happening here on the 21st. I think this is an area that you're definitely going to love. Why? Because when it moves into Capricorn, that's your sister sign, also an earth sign, but it's in the house of Leo. So here comes joy, here comes a lot of warmth and charm. Maybe you can take some time off to go do those things you love to do when you have time off. Then we have Venus, though, retrograde on the 21st, same day. Now, for you girls thinking of wanting to do anything different, have a facelift or Botox, nothing of that sort. Don't cut your hair either, or dentistry. When Venus goes retrograde, think about Venus as the planet that steers and rules everything that has to do with beauty, all right? If that isn't moving forward with us and going retro, well, then the effects and the outcome of it will also be retro. It won't be what you're hoping for. And being in the sign of Capricorn, well, Capricorn rules your teeth, it rules bone structure too. So I wouldn't even say go to the dentist as long as Venus is retrograde. Then we have Mercury, who's going to join the crowd here on the 24th, moving into Capricorn as well, into the 5th house. So you're really going to be quite jovial and celebratory here this month. And it followed by the Sun and Neptune. Well, that's you, and that's your dreamy state. Neptune is what? All those good things that we dream in an idealistic, heightened awareness way. That's you just seeing the goal there, and try to harness that energy, because before we can manifest anything in this life, we need to see it here first, or it will never come around. And that's just by the law of attraction, right? So this day, 24th, it's great. It's the night, it's the eve before Christmas Day for you guys. And so the vision, the harmony, just the feeling, the energy is very lifted and elevated. All that nice music, right? But then be careful, because we do have Mars and Uranus at odds. They're opposite here on the 24th, and here we got this drive, Mars, it's speed, right? And then we have Uranus with all these unexpected things happening. And I'm just thinking, those of you that are traveling, lots of traffic out there on the 24th for people wanting to go home for Christmas, right? So if you're out on those freeways, I just want to warn you to keep your eyes peeled, take care. We don't want any slippery sliding going on out there. But on the 25th, the morning, we got Mercury and Neptune. The Sun is here with Neptune, so we have all the beautiful Christmas songs going on. And throughout the 28th through the 31st, though, we have a little bit of challenges on our hand. Now we're going to go through those, which we do every day. We go through the daily transits on the astroscopes, the daily astroscopes. Here we just have to list it so quickly because we can't go through all of them on limited time here on the video. But these are really worth listening into if you're not already listening to the astroscopes. And let me tell you why though, because we have Mercury and the Sun, we got and Mars here, all squaring up here with Pluto and Uranus and conjunctions taking place. That's a lot of energy coming in like this. And as we leave the year here in December, this is also how we're going to start top of the year. I'll talk more about that on the January forecasts as well, and also for the 2014 forecasts, because we're all going to start up here on top of the year with these. I'm briefly going to mention them now. We have Mercury square Uranus, so there might be something that isn't really falling into place too well. It could be something shared or expressed. This is between either a loved one, it's the 5th house for love, but it's also the area of children, and it is something that's going to really take a little dagger at you here because it's deeply felt there in the 8th house. So something might be said, there might be reactions, and if there's reactions, well, that's just going to bring on the defense, because here comes also the Sun and Uranus square, and the Sun is saying, hey, I'm not taking this, you know, and you'll just separate yourself from that situation, not wanting to hear it, right? And then Mars will just kick in and say, well, I want you to hear this, because Mars is action, it's desire, it's pinpointed, and when Mars first gets going, well, it's not going to want to stop, especially because it's square Pluto. And by now you probably know that I always say that Mars is dynamite, Pluto is nuclear. Put those two together, we got fusion going on here. And Mercury will not step down. Mercury, your communication, is square Mars. So it's like standing your ground. Now, that's just the nutshell of it all. This is global, universal aspects. So yes, it's going to affect all of us, no matter what sign we are, anywhere we are on the planet, and then of course even nations and so forth. We'll be seeing something coming to a crescendo here just the days before New Year, and then over New Year. We'll talk more about that later. But then at least you're keyed in, but Christmas is going to be fine. So wrapping it all up, it is looking good. Yes, I did mention that Jupiter here now is retrograde. Pay attention to any opportunities coming to you of those things that you planted earlier on. That's the gift from Jupiter, even when she's retrograde. So hey guys, go listen to your moon sign and rising sign, and I will see you next month. Bye now.